So I get a lot of questions when people see my studio about the Neko QX6. So I got this Neko 2012. It was the last generation that was made. But straight from the get-go in the factory, I had it updated with a bunch of new stuff. So there's some good and some bad about the machines. So the machines, I mean, still to this day, like, these machines are revolutionary because there's nothing else like them. I think that Lion Tracks Audio came out with a Linux-based system that was like this from the UK, but it didn't hold up. It was super buggy. These were shipped with a lot of cheap parts. The price tag on this one was $5,500 out the door. And then I had a lot of RAM problems at first, so ended up figuring out that they just put Chinese RAM in it that just wasn't worth the shit. So I had that swapped out, and then now it's got 16 gigabytes of Crucial Ballistics RAM, which I've swapped out twice throughout the years because after you use it so much, get new RAM. But this one so far is up to date in the computer world as far as I still run Windows 7. I had no reason to switch. Windows 8 was horrible. Windows 10 was horrible for music until they had the Windows 10 update that was one below Windows 11. That one's stable for music, but even Windows 10 was not really good for music. Windows 7, by the time they were done with it, wasn't too bad other than XP. Actually, Windows 7 was, I believe, XP with just a Windows 7 shell. So, like on this unit here, I run it with Studio 1.4. Didn't feel like upgrading. I have a long slew of things, everything from effects to VSTs. I have like a whole Waves suite in here. As far as instrument-wise, I have all the stock stuff from Studio One. I think I have something around 40,000 SFZ files. And then I also have Serum. I have Native Instruments in here. I have East-West. So I literally have so much going on in this keyboard. And with the updates, I ended up getting 2 SSDs installed, 2 1 terabyte drives. I ended up getting a new fan put in it because it was just getting older, so it was starting to get noisy. With these machines on, they're actually not that noisy, just with the stock fans, but I got a new fan put in it. And then obviously the Crucial Ballistics RAM. I did try to switch out the audio interface with because this has got the Firebox in it. The chipset didn't like to play well with the newer version of the Firebox. So I just bought another Firebox and reinstalled that. And then I had pretty much all the connectors in the back cleaned out. The motherboard, wasn't no reason to switch it. Other than that, everything else stayed the same. This machine has still lasted the test of time, even with producing music with my new vocal computer. So the computer that I use for the main recording studio is a Vision Dog computer that they built for me in 2020. It's a fantastic computer, and this still holds up against that. Matter of fact, I've had plugins crash that won't crash this. The boot up time with this Open Labs computer, literally within 5 seconds it boots up and you're ready to roll. Even my Vision Dog takes 11 to 12. Not a big deal to make music, but just to show you that even though this was made in 2012, it still rocks. The sound, I mean, you get a lot of people who are saying shit like, isn't it outdated? Aren't the sounds outdated? People are in the market right now buying like the old EP keyboards from like Ensoniq and stuff like that, or the Mirages, or people are getting SP12s. The vintage sounds come back, but you literally have, on this computer, or this keyboard has like 80,000 something sounds. You know what I mean? It's literally got like 30,000 drum hits and 50,000 instruments. If you can't make music with 30,000 drum kits and 50,000 instruments, stop making music, because you can't make music. It's not for you. But this thing will literally never get old. The pads, I literally like these pads better than MPC pads. I've had an MPC, I have an MV8800 in back. I had the MPC X, I've had the MPC 2000. I like these pads better than I ever liked those pads. Number one, they're smaller. I can get my fingers on them easier. And number two, I feel like they have a better response. Sometimes on the MPCs, you get like a delayed hit. These right here just fire out as soon. I like how the rubber feels. It's not as stiff as the MPCs. These are super responsive. I love them to death. All in all, this machine is still running with the times. I don't use it as much as I used to. I use like a lot more VSTI stuff that's based into my vocal computer, because I also have like the new Complete 13 in there, the new Arturia suite and stuff like that. So, but I use this on times like when I want to go back to that old feel, back to like the 2013, 2014 days. And I just want to get that feeling back. You know what I mean? I probably have like something around 3,000 beats in this keyboard. At least 2,000 are probably record worthy. You know what I mean? The only thing that's super dope about this keyboard is when I had my new vocal computer and studio computer built, I had it built with 2 different FireWire ports. This has FireWire port on the back as well. So anything that I make in this keyboard, I can just send it via FireWire over to the vocal computer, drag the stems right into whatever file project I'm listening to, and it's ready to go. Or if I don't want to, I can run this from like the SSL mixer straight into whatever project that I'm working on at the moment. So, I mean, I can integrate everything. I integrate the VS5080 hard synths through this. If I want to, I can do all my sampling through this, chop it up, clean it up, send it to the MV, ready to rock. Or I can put it right on its own pads in Studio One. Literally, you cannot do with a Kronos or anything what you can do with this. Still to this day, this was made in 2012. You still cannot, for an all-dedicated one keyboard, do with any hardware computers what you can still do with this. And now people are starting to want these again. So I had a guy offer me like $3,800 for this. Nah, man, sorry. These are hard to find. They're hard to find still working, and they're hard to find in great condition. So if you guys have any questions or comments or whatever, feel free to leave it. But I'm telling you guys, I've seen these on the market for like as little as $1,200. Okay. So for you younger cats out there doing music that don't understand shit, this right here to buy for $1,200 and put $800 into it will last you forever as long as you keep the maintenance on it. You know what I mean? These are just getting highly desired again because they were ahead of their time. So anyway, questions, comments. Actually, this wash away my sin. I made this in 2013. Still haven't even done nothing with it yet. Little darling, I can't carry it no more. Wash away my sin. Maybe I'll add drums to it someday. I don't even have the monitors. Little darling, I can't carry it no more. And the great thing about it too is also anything that I see I can MIDI learn. So if I want these faders to control like different tempos, so I can slow the tempo down if I'm in the DJ scene, or if I want to attach it to like a reverb or something, so I can actually regulate my reverbs via hand and touch because of the full automation, I can do that. And another thing that I really like about it too, also that's really cool, is I can link this with any other hardware. Or like, let's say if I want to bring a keyboard in, like if I got a Kronos and I really liked it, I can clone the Kronos and keep it right in this keyboard. So every sound that they ever had, I can make it, or I can use it in these keyboards too, because they came with cloning software, which I've used once. So, I mean, it's a no fucking brainer. If you find one cheap, get it. Don't worry about the fact it doesn't run on Windows 10 because nobody gives a fuck. Run it on the Windows 7 that it's on. Optimize it, throw some new hard drives in, throw some new RAM in, and let it roll. Literally, there's still VSTI companies that are making Windows 7 based stuff. So honestly, it's a bang for the buck. You can't beat it.